days of our Mesa CARES Small Business Reemergence Program, and we're glad to have Jay O'Donnell here from the Office of Economic Development. Jay is living the Mesa CARES program. I'm sure she dreams about it at night because that's all she's been doing, I think, for the last, almost 4 months now, something like that. So we will go ahead and get started. I'm going to turn it over to Jay, and she'll go ahead and give her presentation, and then we'll have some time for Q&A.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Sally, and thank you to the Mesa Chamber of Commerce for hosting this webinar today. I'm really looking forward to sharing the information with you about our technical assistance program. As some of you may know, the Office of Economic Development is in the city of Mesa, and our mission is really to enhance Mesa's economy by creating quality jobs, improving the quality of life for residents, and increasing the per capita income for residents. And we do this a number of different ways, but we partner all the time with the Mesa Chamber of Commerce as well as other organizations in the city for quality economic development. We do consider ourselves business advocates, even though we are located within the municipality and we are employed by the city. We consider ourselves to be more, to have more private sector DNA than not. And we really are the sales and marketing arm of the city for business attraction, expansion, and retention. So it makes sense that we would be chosen to lead the small business reemergence program for the Mesa CARES funds that were allocated for the business and economic development piece of the program. With that, I wanted to just share a few slides with you. See if I can get my screen to share here. Sorry, it's going to take me a second. I'm trying.
You're okay.
Here we go. Okay. So as Sally mentioned, this is phase 2 of the overall small business reemergence program. And my screen is now dark. I hope it's coming up.
We can see it, Jay.
Oh, you can. Okay, good. Good. And is it on just the regular slide?
It's on, it looks like your first slide.
Okay, good. Well, I'll work with this then. I'm not sure, I can't really, there we go. Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. Right. So with the Mesa CARES program, as I mentioned, this is phase 2. So there are 3 tiers really. The grant program that we launched in May is now wrapping up, and we are sending out final awards to more than 500 businesses this week and next. The technical assistance program launched June 8th, and that's what I'm covering today. But it's really to provide customized training and services to Mesa businesses. It's really designed to accelerate recovery and promote resiliency so that for future recessions or downturns, the small businesses that participate in this program will be able to better weather the storm. Third tier is really marketing campaigns, and those will be geared toward our residents for our local campaign as well as visitors in drive markets. So promoting our vacations in Mesa and encouraging staycations in Mesa for Arizona residents. What we're going to cover today is who the program serves. When people hear the term technical assistance, sometimes it conjures up different things in different people's minds. So we'll talk specifics and also generalities about what we're going to deliver with the program. We're also going to talk a little bit about who's delivering the programming, so you know who's going to be partners in this technical assistance delivery model, where you can apply and where businesses receive the training, especially now in this world of virtual exchanges and not knowing exactly what a location may have available. We're going to talk a little bit about how we're delivering training. And then the start and end date for the program, why it's important now, and how it will help the businesses. So the program itself is training, education, and services for Mesa-based businesses on a wide variety of topics that are relevant to businesses now and for in the future. And we're providing this assistance in various formats as well as languages. So Spanish is a given. We're also working on delivering some of this programming in Chinese as well as Vietnamese. And if there are other languages that are required, we can certainly try and fulfill those. But the webinars will include live Q&A sessions. We'll also record every webinar that is in this series so that it will live then in perpetuity on a digital platform. We're calling it the Mesa CARES library. So while you may not be able to participate in the initial live webinar, if it comes out, you can certainly watch it later. I actually think the benefit is to sign in early so you can participate in these webinars when they're actually live, because then you are getting exclusivity for your questions to be answered by the subject matter experts. We also have one-on-one business consulting in every category that we have a webinar. So we're not doing a webinar without providing some backstop with one-on-one business counseling. And then we also have customized services based on the business's needs, and I'll go into that a little bit more. The good news is these are free of charge to participating businesses. And if you had to pay for these services, it would literally be thousands of dollars. The delivery, as far as the folks who are delivering the training and services, we are a small office in the Office of Economic Development. And so we felt it really important to partner with organizations and top-notch professionals in the fields of marketing, business operations, cyber, legal, HR, IT, and so many more. There are organizations who are already very skilled at delivering this kind of service and consulting. So we're partnering with Cahoots, Local First Arizona, Visit Mesa. The Mesa Chamber of Commerce has members, obviously, that can provide a wide variety of these services as well. We'll be partnering with the Asian Chamber, LISC, East Valley Hispanic Chamber, and then academic institutions as well to deliver some of this training and consulting. So we're really excited that we have a stable of vendors to work with and to deliver this matchup, if you will, of what companies need and want, and then what these organizations and subject matter experts can provide. The good news is, with the number of providers and the amount of funds that we have for this program, we can serve easily 1,000 businesses. So we want Mesa businesses to apply for this program. And even if you only watch one webinar, it would still be a benefit, because you'll be on this platform and you'll be able to network with all of the other businesses on the platform as well. And we hope that once you actually take a webinar, that will compel you to take additional ones once you know how good and helpful the webinars are. The various categories that we've lined up have really been based on what the business community has said they wanted. We did very early on a business impact survey to find out what the greatest need was in the community, and people came back and said, we really need marketing support. We need to better understand this new media and marketing. We need digital media and design. We also need some business coaching, HR services, legal services is a big one, obviously. And then websites. Some businesses do not have websites, or the websites that they do have may not be exactly what they're looking for to operate in this new environment. So they need an upgrade or a refresh. Also, cybersecurity. Working from home now is starting to be sort of commonplace, making sure that you are protecting your company and your employees. And then we also have specialized training and services that I'll talk about further: a restaurant boot camp, computer technology skills training, signage, PPE. And the webinars and the training programs begin in 2 weeks. So we have them staggered over the next 6 months, but we want to make sure that everybody gets signed up as soon as possible. On the technical assistance, as far as definitions, it's really customized support for your business. So it is up to you to tell us what you need. Obviously, e-commerce is very important in today's environment. Does your business have a website? Are customers able to order from you online? Are they able to access your services online? How are you interacting with your customers? Are you a service business and your employees are working from home? How do you make sure they are safe and your company's safe? Another one that I think is really important, especially now with kind of this resurgence in the spread of the virus: health and safety. What do your employees need to know? What are you regulated on what you need to tell your employees, and how do you train your employees to make sure they're cleaning properly, not only to protect themselves, but to protect your clients? All of these things are really important, and sometimes people don't know where to go for the information. So we're happy to help with that. And then financial considerations for your business. You know, is it time to potentially restructure your debt or reassess your business model? We have had some companies in Mesa completely pivot and start an entirely new line of service from what they ever did before. And so how do we help them continue down that path if that is something that they feel is successful and that they want to continue to do? As I mentioned, webinars are coming up, and Visit Mesa put together a really robust webinar series that focuses on more of the digital media. And I think this is fantastic for any business, really, whether or not you were hit hard by COVID or just impacted slightly. It's really good to know what's going on in the world of social media today, and also understanding how to best promote your business and develop your brand and tell your story. So I'm actually having a couple of our staff in economic development take some of these classes too, because it's just a great opportunity to get exposed to a subject that we might not necessarily deal with on a regular basis, and it helps you better prepare as a business for the future and understanding how your customers are searching for you online. Have you ever Googled your business name and taken a look at what comes up? Do you put content out about you and your business? How are you promoting yourself and promoting your business? Some companies have never really entered this space before, so these are good classes to take to get a really basic foundation. But then also for those businesses who have been doing that, it will help them step up to the next level. The individual consulting areas are also available. As I mentioned, for every webinar that we have, there's backup consulting, and then there's also consulting that does some drill down, for example, on employee relations, financial counseling, and even getting as granular as, you know, I'm a restaurant and I need someone to come into my business and really help me redesign my floor plan to maximize the number of tables, but still consider the social distancing and making sure I'm complying with all of the guidelines and doing everything correctly. And then even something as simple as menu profitability that restaurants don't always think about. It's okay to go from 40 items on a menu down to 15, but what 15 items should those be? That's something that you may not necessarily want to do on your own in a vacuum, but we can have a restaurant consultant come in and work with you to do that. Restaurant boot camp. So this is a good segue. Local First Arizona has started a restaurant boot camp that is an incredible program. It actually is a 4-credit class at Maricopa County Community College District. So while we're not offering the credit as part of this program, it's virtually the same class. So it's an 8-week class, and it guides small restaurants to long-term success. It is really valuable for those who are newly opened, but also those existing businesses who just would really benefit from taking a couple of hours out of their work week to focus on strategy, business strategy, thinking about marketing, thinking about how they want to set up the next 5 years for their business. And that's one of the things that Local First has said. A lot of the restaurateurs don't ever take time to do that. So this class forces them to carve 2 hours out of their week for 8 weeks and work with 10 to 12 other restaurateurs and go through these classes. So they would cover food service purchasing, food service math and costing, and figuring out, you know, if you're buying something for a certain price, then where do you retail it? Profitable menu creation, point of sale systems, procurement, house relations, logistics, and food service permitting. So this is a really strong program that I'm so excited. We have made this exclusive to Mesa businesses, and we can have up to 8 different cohorts. But the first cohort starts the week of July 20. I put 20th. I'm sorry, July 27th. So please get registered, or if you know of other restaurants who would benefit from this class, again, it's free of charge because Mesa CARES is covering this. So have them apply for this program, and we're happy to get them in. We're also doing personal protective equipment and signage packages. We know that businesses are still in need of equipment for themselves and their employees. So you can receive a package of personal protective equipment up to $400 worth of goods. If you need additional PPE above and beyond that, the business is welcome to pay for that on their own, but we're working with the Mesa Chamber of Commerce to purchase these packages and make sure that businesses are getting what they need. Same with signs, signage, stickers to comply with COVID health and safety guidelines. You can get technical assistance for up to $500 for a signage package. If you need signage, you know, before folks come into your business, if you need to put something on the door that says, you know, masks required, here's the protocol for entering, sanitizing stations, stickers that promote the 6 feet distance enforcement, that's what we want to help you with. And it is first come, first serve. The other thing we're doing is something that while all of you are on this Zoom call, I'm assuming that you all have technology, you all have a device of some sort. What we have found is that there are some businesses out there who do not have a computer, and we thought it would be important to try and help up to 20 Mesa businesses with a basic technology package. So we know that they can use technology for better business management, but first they need to take 8 to 10 hours of tutoring, and then they get one free computer that's loaded with software for them to use in their business. And I do hope that we get some businesses to take advantage of this. There are a number of folks that we are familiar with now who applied for our grant, our financial assistance program, who had a lot of trouble applying online because they didn't have a computer. They were trying to use their relative's mobile phone, and boy, in this day and age, think about if you didn't have a computer and you were trying to do everything on your phone. So we're really hoping that this is a popular program. So who can apply? Applicants must be a business located in the city of Mesa. If you did receive SBA funding through the CARES Act, you are still eligible for this program. Home-based businesses are eligible for this program, and nonprofits are also eligible. And we have this bullet on here that businesses must have suffered negative impacts due to the purpose of stemming the spread of COVID. I think that covers just about every business in the city of Mesa. So it won't be hard to qualify for that particular piece of criteria. So how do you apply? Basically, it is an online application process that takes a few minutes, but before you log on, you need to grab your W-9. It is required to have a W-9, so make sure that your W-9 is signed and dated and has your business address on it. And then one additional document. It can be a TPT license, it can be a utility statement. It just needs to have the address match the application address. So just two forms really that proves you're a Mesa business and certifies you're a Mesa business. The application website address, and this is also where you can find all the information about what the program is and the different classes and the schedule, is mesaaz.gov/caresbiztechassist. And Bob, if you don't mind putting that in the chat for me, I would really appreciate it. That way they'll have a log of the website. The online application is live now, and ideally, if you can just submit all your documents at one time, it's much easier than having to go back and log back in and finding your application. The application is available in both English and Spanish at this time. And when you go in, you have the opportunity to rank your preference of assistance based on your priorities. So there are 30 different categories of business assistance to choose from. You just rank 1 through 5 on what you would prefer to sort of start with. And there's also an option where you can write in, if there's something that's not covered on that list of 30 things, please write in, or you could even write in restaurant boot camp. If that's all you want to do, write in restaurant boot camp. So that should give you a good idea of all the different things you can choose from. Make sure to get in early so that you can take advantage of all the benefits, and keep in mind that support and assistance is first come, first serve. As far as the timing, once you submit your application, applicants should hear back within 5 to 14 days, kind of depending on this. This summer is a little bit funky with vacations and timing, but the recipients will be contacted by email that they've provided on the application. Then a customized training and service plan will be provided to the business with their assigned vendors and a proposed schedule for classes and services. It can always be changed by the company. So if we put something together and we say, here's what we think would be great for you. These are 3 webinars, a restaurant boot camp, and a website development. Here's the timing. And we send it back to the business, and the business says, well, I really would like to do this first instead of this. We can work around that. And the value for each business is actually going to be determined based on the need for the business and the customized program that's developed. So with that, I am happy to open it up for questions. But again, back to the website for additional information. And then we also have our call center that is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. as well. And they are really good at helping people through the application, or if you just have general questions, that's fine too. If there are Spanish speakers or language needs, they can set up an appointment too for a call center staff person or a translator to call back if someone has a question and we can't answer it, if there's another language need. So I really hope that not only will the folks on the call today apply for the program, but I hope that you tell 5 or 10 other Mesa businesses about this program, because like I said, we have the resources now to easily serve 1,000 businesses in Mesa and really create a more resilient small business army, if you will. Mesa is really very dependent on small businesses, and the city values our businesses, and we want to help them as much as we can and as soon as we can. So again, I hope that y'all participate and that you help spread the word.
Thank you, Jay. So we do have some questions in the chat. If you have a question for Jay, please do feel free to utilize the chat feature. Post that question in the chat feature, and I will go ahead and relay that to her. The first question that we have, Jay, is when it says assign vendors, and is the city working with external partners for some of the training? This person may have been absent at the very beginning, so if you just kind of want to touch on that real quick.
Sure. Yes, we do have a stable of vendors that we are contracting with to deliver the training and education. So vendors including Cahoots, Local First Arizona, Visit Mesa, Mesa Chamber of Commerce, and then they within their networks contract or subcontract with subject matter experts depending on the service. For example, with Mesa Chamber of Commerce, I know we have legal services being provided by a Mesa Chamber of Commerce member, and then some of the signage packages and PPE packages are also being provided by chamber members.
And what is the timeline that a business can sign up for the program? So when do you expect the program will end?
So we are planning to run the program through the end of December. That's when all of the CARES Act funding has to be invested. The funds will actually be deployed. So if we have more interest and we're sort of running through the funds faster than the 6-month time period, in my opinion, that's a good thing, because the sooner we can deploy the funds, the better it is for the businesses. But we plan to have webinars scheduled through mid-December timeframe. You can apply, if you waited, for example, until November, that's fine. I just don't know if you're going to receive then the full array of services that you could potentially have, because if you come into the program in November, for example, and we determine that your business, you really need a website built from scratch. So say you come in November 15th, and then you also need to take a restaurant boot camp, which is an 8-week program. You're too late. You're not going to be able to do that. And even the website might be truncated in a way, because the website might have taken 4 to 6 weeks to build, and we only have through the end of December to make sure everything's wrapped up tight with a bow and delivered. So that's why I'm suggesting to get in early, and if you can take advantage of more services because we have more availability, that's better for everybody.
Cool. Jay, if a business is part of a franchise, will that business owner be able to participate in the program?
Yes. In fact, at the beginning of the financial grant program, that was one of the pieces that made them ineligible. But for this particular program for technical assistance, franchises are eligible as long as you're a Mesa-based business.
And just to touch on that, just to have you confirm it, we were understood that home-based businesses were also eligible?
They are, yes. Home-based businesses are eligible.
Once a business applies, how long does it take to find out if they've been granted participation in this phase?
The time frame is between 5 and 14 days. We're trying to get things moving fairly quickly so that the intake is smooth, but we want to make sure that we're in contact with the business and we have time to speak with them about their priorities and make sure we're lining up the appropriate vendor as well. So 5 to 14 days.
Okay. And just to confirm, all of the consultants across the various industries, have those already been chosen?
Generally speaking, yes. They are, for the most part, I would say 80% lined up and locked in. We do have the ability to add if necessary. So if a business comes in to us and says, I really need XYZ for technical assistance, and I'm making this up, this is a bad example and it's a weird example, but if a business came in and said, I really need a parachute because it will help me do business this way, and I lost all my parachutes because of COVID. We didn't have a parachute provider in our initial stable of vendors. We can still go out and find that and try and source that for the business.
So, and this kind of feeds into the next question. If there's a business that would feel like they have something to offer through this, is there a way that you want them to approach you as an available business? Do you want them to approach one of the nonprofit organizations, or how would you like to have that handled?
That's a great question. So we are asking them that if it's a private business, ideally we would like them to work with the nonprofits that are already working with us under contract. It sounds like this might be a chamber member, so it would be nice if they could work through the Chamber of Commerce. The easiest way to go about that, I think, would be to contact Bob or Sally, and if the business prefers to work through another business or organization that we have under contract, that's okay too. If it's a service that, again, we're not thinking about or we might not know about, you're welcome to email me, and I can also find a vendor that might be appropriate to work with too.
Just a reminder, everybody, if you do have any questions, please feel free to post them in the chat. I do not have any additional questions right at the moment, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to Sally. Of course, somebody done posted right then. What about a prospective new business that isn't currently in operation?
Can you explain that a little bit further? So a business that's thinking about operating?
Yeah, so let's say I'm planning to open, maybe I was planning to open in March and I wasn't able to open in March because of COVID. So now I'm looking at maybe August to open. Can I apply for the program?
I think the thrust for this program is for existing businesses who were in business pre-COVID. That's not to say that it would be impossible. I think what we might be able to do with a business like that is potentially sign them up for some of the webinars that are already operating for existing businesses. But we might have to be a little bit careful with that. We struggled with that on the grant program as well, because there were some businesses who literally had just opened and then they had to close right away, or they were just about to open, and it was a struggle because the intent is for businesses who were open pre-COVID or who at least were ready to open and just missed it. So I don't want to say no, but I'm just saying there may be a way to kind of eke them in a little bit and not still comply with the rules of the program.
So in essence, nothing's gonna hurt a potential business by just filling out the form and starting a dialogue. Is that kind of
correct?
Okay. So do we have a number on how many businesses have signed up for phase 2 so far?
Phase 2, we have just about 80 businesses, 80 applicants in. And so we're starting to funnel those out to the different vendors this week. And as you heard, we have a lot more room to go. So please apply for the program and tell other businesses. The other thing about from a vendor perspective, if you are in marketing or sales and you can help a business improve their business operations, you're obviously doing them a favor, but then hopefully that generates additional revenue or improves relationship that you have with your business community as well and your network.
So how's the scope of the customized business package determined per case? So kind of what's that process from, once they fill out that form to when maybe those referral informations are sent out to kind of what's that look like?
It really depends on what the business prioritizes. So if the business wants just webinars, that's easy. We plug in a webinar schedule, let them know when those are happening, how they're delivered. If they want additional one-on-one counseling, then we may give that business a call to say, are you thinking this is a couple of hours of conversation with a legal service, an attorney, or is this a 10-hour case? Tell us a little bit more about it. So it might also be where they have one thing, they want a website, they want to be able to do e-commerce. So that would be, in my opinion, a little more simple, where we feed them into a website development company and they work directly with that particular provider. I see it really as they have a menu of things that they can pick from, and they prioritize what's most important to them. And then we just kind of go down that list and try and give them as much as we possibly can within that scope. Obviously, they can't have 50 hours of legal services, 50 hours of website development, and 25 hours of HR consulting. There has to be some balance there, and that's where we work with the business to find out what do they really need the most.
So a question in regards to one of the, I guess, the nonprofit sort of coordinators. Is Rail CDC one of the vendors?
They are not. No. I thought they might come in a little bit with LISC, but LISC has come in with a really strong financial counseling package. They're also going to be providing a resiliency guide, a resiliency webinar series. They have a Kiva loan program that's incredible. And their business activation, I believe, is kind of along that Main Street and Rail. So I'm guessing they would be working with Rail. That wasn't spelled out, specifically in their proposal, but I'm sure Rail would be involved.
So, Jay, I'm just going to throw this out there. There are some questions that are probably not geared as much to you as they are geared to the chamber. So if it is a question that seems to be geared more towards the chamber, I'm just going to go ahead and let that one get answered after the seminar is over. Again, if you have a question, please feel free to post that in the chat. I'm happy to go ahead and relay that to Jay. I'm just waiting on another question, so I'll let Sally kind of step in real quick.
I don't have any questions because we've heard Jay's presentation now a few times, and it just gets better and better because there's more and more information coming out for everybody. Jay, do you have anything else you want to share?
Sure. I think I would ask the business community if this is on point, if they feel like this could be valuable. I mean, honestly, if the packages that we are envisioning developing it would have to be purchased outright. It could be between $8,000 and $10,000 for a business to afford this sort of thing. So we're kind of budgeting between $8,000 to $10,000 per business. And some businesses obviously need it more than others, but even if you think you might not necessarily need it or want to make time, even I keep thinking of, like, people have life coaches. Get a business coach for 5 to 10 hours and see what that can do for your business. It's free. Try it. It might be a really good thing to do. Or get somebody to help you with marketing for 5 hours. Wouldn't that be neat? It's kind of like going back to school, free of charge. Give it a whirl and see if you like it. It's a good thing to try. And the bottom line is, it's going to make your business stronger and better and able to withstand downturns that will happen, that will be inevitable down the road.
Okay. Well, if we don't have anything else, we'll go ahead and we'll wrap it up. And Jay, again, thank you so much for your time and for your commitment to this program. I know that the entire office is working hard on this, but we appreciate you taking the lead, obviously. Getting some thumbs up from a couple people, so obviously this is a good call. You know, she's asking you to sign up for things, but honestly, like, you could come out stronger. You know, there's opportunities for everybody, and there's things that you might not really think of right now, but look at the website and look at the lists of all the different things that are available. There's products and services. There's something for everyone, right? So take advantage of it, and we appreciate your time again for this call. And I don't know, Jay, will there be a third call, a third phase?
I'm not sure. There will be marketing coming soon. We're working on that now, but I'm really appreciative of the chamber hosting again, and thank you everyone for your time. And I hope to see you again soon.
Awesome. Thank you all. Have a great day. Stay well.
Thank you.
Mask up.